So yeah, hi Vanhishikha. Thank you so much for taking our time and joining us today for this session on content marketing for e-commerce, mainly Shopify businesses. Um, to our audience, like I just want to give a quick introduction, and then I'll pass it over to you to introduce yourself. So, hi guys, Vanhishikha has around 6 years of experience in with B2B SaaS companies. She has worked with companies, a lot of Shopify apps like RevTeps, Pushowl, and others. And currently, she is leading content for Shopify India from last 4 months. I'll pass over to Vanishika to introduce herself. Yeah.
I will do a small correction here. I am not leading content, but yes,
Okay.
I am working with the Shopify
All right.
team, right, to exactly, let's say, double their content efforts.
Mm-hmm.
They were already doing a lot of content, but as with COVID, practically every brand is going online.
Yeah.
So there was this need of addressing a lot of things, teaching a lot of things to offline merchants. So that's what I've joined hands with. Yes, but have been in touch with the Shopify ecosystem in general because you said I am working with a lot of app partners and agency partners in the ecosystem. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I handle their content marketing, and in the end, I kind of know what works, what doesn't work from the merchant side as well when it comes to content.
All right, that's perfect. Yeah, thank you so much for that. Before we start with questions, I just want to give a brief how we are planning to go ahead with this session. So what we have done is we have posted in our group, plus we have picked up questions from other groups also regarding content marketing, how the questions that merchants normally face, plus the challenges that they face with content marketing. Because one of the things with a Shopify merchant is because they are all small, they really want to see sales immediately the day they start. And when it comes to content marketing SEO, it takes a bit of time before it starts showing results. So finding that balance and everything, so those are the kind of questions that we have collected from different groups, and then that's what we are planning to cover in this session. So that's just a brief of it. Yeah. So without taking any more time, I'll directly jump into the questions. So the first question that I have is a group. So in general, people understand what content marketing is, but then the way it works for e-commerce business, and even in e-commerce business, we can further segment or categorize it based on the big e-commerce businesses and small e-commerce businesses like Shopify, like merchants who are in Shopify. So when it comes to content marketing for those e-commerce business, how do you like what do you how do you define it? What do you when you have to put it in words, say what is content marketing for Shopify businesses? What's your take on this thing?
So the usual definition that everybody will find online is how content marketing is all about creating content that adds value to end consumer and is helping them get educated about what you offer. Now, when I turn it into something which is more like e-commerce, I'll give you rather an example. Take IKEA, right? So IKEA with their kind of content, like IKEA products are pretty good, right? Each one of us likes them, but that's a lot of DIY also. Now, think about getting a product home, which requires a lot of DIY and not being able to assemble it right. You make a purchase, you like the product, but now you don't know how to put it together and make it look like the product you actually saw. That's where content marketing actually comes in, because that's how you educate the consumer that, all right, this is our product, this is the value, and this is how you can use it. So content marketing is that fit between your product and how eventually uses your product. So irrespective, say, of the industry that a person, be it fashion, be it home decor, be it anything, right? Even medical companies or wellness companies. If you're not explaining something to a consumer, it's becoming really hard to convince them to make a purchase. Like, for instance, right, when we are researching any product, it could be like maybe $5 worth of a product. But before spending, we will actually spend time researching if it's good, what purpose does it serve, do I really need it? So those are the kind of things that get plugged in when you actually have content marketing for your brand.
All right, that's wonderful. Yeah. Um, So now coming to the next question that I have from these groups. So one of the challenges that all these guys, because they are mostly one man show and they have hundreds of other things to kind of handle to run the show for the store. So in those cases, like normally content marketing, because it takes a lot of efforts, right? So it takes the back seat. So so how do you like, I mean, when it comes to planning content marketing, especially for say Shopify business, like, I mean, so the question that I have is like, at what stage of their business they should start thinking about content marketing, and when it comes to planning, how should they go about it, especially like keeping Shopify businesses in focus, because your expertise are with Shopify businesses.
So like the two things here, right? So content doesn't necessarily mean that you should be at a level where you're making thousands of dollars of sales. It could be something that you're just starting off with.
Yeah.
But do you need it or not at the moment should be a question that you should ask yourself, and that should be defined based on who you're targeting. So I would say if you're thinking also about using content marketing, start with what exactly are you offering, who your ideal customer is. So if your ideal customer is going to require a couple of explanations to use your product, like I said, the IKEA example, then in that case, yes, you do need content marketing. Because say for instance, you're starting a store, it's a wellness store, and you are trying to sell essential oils. Now essential oils, you've handcrafted them with a lot of research, but the does not know what kind of research did you do, what did you find in your research, and why does that person need to invest in say that essential oil that you're offering, right? So in that case, right at the start, you will have to invest in content marketing, because it's to explain that okay, what we are offering is not really something just copy paste or a pick up from the market. It's something that we've researched. But the good thing about content marketing is it really does not need to be endless number of blogs. It really does not need to be, let's say, a lot of videos. I've seen Shopify merchants actually ask this, because they're like, we're too new a store, we don't have resources to create content, we don't have resources to create videos. Honestly, this is more of a millennial generation, wherein you can just pick up your phone, create a quick video talking like the way we are talking on Zoom right now, right? And record it and share it. That's content enough for you, as long as you're adding value to them. So I would say, irrespective of where you are, where your business is at, content is something that you should explore if you're facing any sort of objection from the users. If you see that okay, they're hesitant making a purchase, or they're kind of having trouble choosing a product from your catalog, in that case, yes, I would say it's time to start thinking about content.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. The moment you start seeing the objections coming in, I think that's where you should start with content marketing to address those objections and answer those questions. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. And the second part of the question was like about the planning. So the one point that you just mentioned, like you don't need to be like super specific and super high quality video stuff and everything. You can simply pick up your phone and come up with the content, right? When it comes to, because the things are changing now, people are the attention span has gone down. So when it comes to balancing out between say text content, blogs and everything versus say video content specifically for e-commerce, like, I mean, have you seen any trends, because like how Shopify merchants are doing it? Like, are they more inclined towards video, or is there a specific industry or verticals those are heavily focusing on video, and then there are other verticals that those are focusing on, say, still focusing on blog content and things like that?
Certain variations here. Wellness products have seen they invest a lot in creating content, written content, because they want something that they can refer to whenever they need, right?
Right. Yeah.
I also see the same industry also investing in videos. The reason that videos tend to pull that trust factor, right? So it's not just writing something; you can see the face behind the brand explaining the whole. So this is one thing that I've seen. But if I say a variation of content, right? Now let's come to the fashion industry, for instance. Fashion industry, we will find a lot of those videos being actually made just on the phone. I'm sure you've seen #Uterds, right? So
Exactly.
a lot of stores,
right.
now they don't who can come to their houses and create a lookbook. So what they do, simply shoot themselves in a mirror, and it's kind of that. So I would say, kind of trying to create a balance between the kind of content that you're creating. I would say start number one. What is going to help you, kind of convey your message faster to the consumer? So it could be a video. If you think a 10-second video is worth way more than writing 500 words, go for it if you can explain in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Similarly, second thing that you should keep in mind is how consistent can you be? So content marketing only works when you're consistent, right? So like you said, there are a lot of stores that are one-man army kind of thing, right? So you don't have that much bandwidth. I think those 10-second videos are really, really quick.
Right. True.
Then, blogs, maybe one blog, or you can set the pace for yourself. You can go maybe bi-weekly blogs, or you can break it into, if you think that, okay, that's too much to handle, maybe put in a little more effort when you're posting on social media. It doesn't even need to be blogs, it doesn't even need to be videos. It can be social media content, so you can write what you want to share with a caption, which is a very so honestly, it should actually start with one, what your consumer needs to hear to be able to purchase. Two, what do your resources look like and what you're comfortable with? Because you need to get consistent with content marketing, right? So it's not something that you could publish today and then say that, all right, for 3 months, I don't do anything, and then again, get results.
That's true. Yeah. Consistency is one of the factors, definitely, that if you're not consistent, then content marketing is not going to